Welcome
Oh,
to the Anchor Your Retirement podcast. I'm your host,
did you
Barb.
just begin the show by saying I should have worn my Easter bunny ears, Barb?
Well, we are recording this right before Easter.
And
Oh my goodness. We have
as
to
my
leave that in. We have to leave that
well,
in.
yeah, we are leaving it in. We've started the show. It's we can't go back now, Barb.
All
Um,
right, let's
but
try. I'm your host, Barbara Gullen, hanging out with my buddy and pal, co-host Tony Shore, who thinks that because the Twins won one game that he needs to wear his Twins jersey today.
just to rub it in, Barb, because I know how big of a KC fan you are. I
Well,
have
and
my
they,
special Minnesota shirt on,
uh-huh,
Twins shirt and
yes.
jersey. I got this last year at a game, and I really like it.
For those of you listening to the audio, you have to flip over to the YouTube channel, BG Wealth Management, and see this on video.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You do, because we're having a good time today. And your intro there about saying you should have wore your Easter bunny ears. It is Easter weekend that this show is airing, and it
Well, this will
reminds.
air the week later because
Oh, that's
this is
true.
Easter weekend.
That's right.
So,
We're recording it Easter weekend. It will air next week, so it'll be after Easter. But my friend, who's a sound engineer with bands in Nashville, and my cousin, who was the lighting guy, the three of us were with a group traveling.
You had a milestone birthday party, not too
I
long
did.
ago, so
I did 60 years. Can you believe
Yes.
I'm 60, Barb?
No,
Yeah.
you don't look a day over 59.
I knew that was coming. So, but I have to tell you the story. This is actually years ago, and it was at Shane's house, or we were at Shane's house this weekend, but we went to church because we were with this Christian band. And so they performed the night before. And then we were in a church the next morning, and the pastor, it was the week before Easter, I believe. And he was doing this big Easter message, or the night before. And he gets all worked up. This guy was goofy. And the funniest thing, he goes, it's not just about the bunny, you know. It's not all about the bunny. And he's wagging his finger while he's saying it. And so now, just to get each other to laugh, we'll go anytime it's Easter, I go, Shane, it's not all just about the bunny, you know.
And you're talking about the bunny, and I'm having VeggieTales flashbacks, but we're not gonna go there.
VeggieTales, I love VeggieTales.
Let's
Phil
go.
Vischer created.
Yes,
I know the guy. Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, he's so creative. Okay, let's go back to why the Twins won yesterday, because something very unusual happened with one of our players.
Well,
and
the Twins winning is unusual. So
well,
that
I wasn't gonna go there. That was all you, not me. And this has made like news. The player made a public apology. Carter Jensen was supposed to be catching for us yesterday because Salvador Perez, who has been with us forever and who is in his 30s, caught the night before. And he's getting to the point where we know he mentioned after Venezuela took the World Baseball Classic that now he has everything, and he said the dreaded word that now he can look at retirement.
The R word, retirement.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, he is just this, you know, he is unbridled joy, even though he's been in the Kansas City system his entire career. The biggest smile, just even the captain of the team. So he ended up having to catch after a night game that was in the rain and kind of yucky. He had to come in and catch because Carter Jensen overslept and didn't get to the stadium in time to be on the roster.
That happened? I didn't hear
It
about
happened.
this.
It happened.
Oh,
it was a
good
110
Lord.
game.
He overslept
He
a
overslept.
game?
He overslept.
Has that ever
a
happened?
game.
Like a professional player not missing a game because he overslept?
I don't know the answer to that, but I mean, it is making all of the news circuits here, and he apologized.
Probably
that he
Sports
feels
Center, I bet,
terrible.
covered it. Yeah.
So, you know, we had to make some last second roster changes, and it kind of rattled everybody. So that's why I'm going to say you guys won yesterday.
Oh, that's why everybody was
That's why.
shaken up because they were missing they had to substitute a catcher. That's the
I
that's
kid
the
you not.
excuse
I
you're gonna
kid you
make?
not. The clubhouse was calling his parents to make sure he was okay. Um,
Oh,
yes. So,
wow. That's crazy. I did not know that. I think it
yes.
was the Twins bats that won the game though. They
Your
were,
pitcher did a good job yesterday too. Just
yeah, yeah.
saying.
We had a few long balls, and then our pitcher did well. That pitcher we got, he's good. I mean, we
Yes.
need more than one great pitcher, but it's a start.
But needless to say, the Royals roster was a little bit leaky yesterday,
Yeah, yeah, that's
which is a
true.
good segue into today's topic, which is
Oh,
plugging your leaky spending.
your segues are the best.
Well,
I've
you
done radio 41 years, and you are one of the best at segueing from our off-topic banter and tying it into the show topic that I
well,
have ever worked with in my 41 years.
thank
Seriously.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Barb,
But
you got a great mind, and that just shows it. But we're plugging your leaky spending.
and
Nobody likes leaks.
I have personal examples here. I mean, it's almost embarrassing doing what I do for a living. My week started out with a text conversation for my Apple Card because there was a charge that came through that I didn't think I'd authorized. And it
Ah,
was to AMC Theaters, and it was for $17.99.
it's a ticket.
Actually, it wasn't, believe it
Oh,
or not. What I didn't realize is that a little over a year ago, when I was going to visit my daughter, we wanted to go see a movie, and I had gotten the tickets online, and it said you could save the fee on the tickets by getting the subscription
the membership, a
membership.
subscription.
And it's only $18 a year.
Not
Okay.
not too shabby.
We go to just enough movies that it makes sense,
Sure.
and knowing
Oh,
that,
yeah.
the theater is getting good again. Movie
Yeah, it
theater
is.
is getting good again.
Project Hail Mary, if no one's seen it, you gotta go see it.
Okay, I will add that to the list. I
Best
saw the
movie in
previews
years.
for it. I'm kinda thinking I wanna go catch Wuthering Heights too, but anyway,
I'm sure you do.
well, it's the English major in me. Um,
Sure.
Except I have a horrible habit of being in movies that are based on books, and when they stray from the book, I sometimes say it a little bit too loudly. Um, that happened in Pride and Prejudice. I
Oh,
actually had
no.
somebody turn
Oh,
around
no.
and ask me to, I'm like, "This," yeah. Anyway, um, good grief.
So the subscriptions sneak up on you.
The subscriptions sneak up on you. And, right now we are looking at increasing costs just for daily living because with the conflict going on in the Middle East, uh, fuel prices have gone up. Fertilizer prices are going to be going up for farmers, which means food costs are going to be going up even more than they already have.
Yeah.
And,
Terrible.
the issue might not be whether or not you have enough money. It might be whether or not you're being disciplined with the cash flow and the money that you have and keeping track of all of it. That can be a difficult thing to do. And there are apps out there that will let you know if you have multiple subscriptions. I have been trying to sort something out with a well-known sports network that I'm not going to mention on the podcast.
Okay.
Well, because there was a blackout with my TV provider for a particular network for, gosh, it ended up being almost a month, I think.
Wow.
And there were a couple of sporting events that my fiance and I wanted to watch. So I just got a subscription so that we could watch it directly off of an app on my smart TV. And let me tell you, they do not make it easy to figure out how to go in and actually cancel those subscriptions.
They make them impossible to cancel.
Yes.
Have you ever tried? I mean, it's like, oh no, you have to. I love it when they make you have to go on a live chat. You can't just click this button. Click here.
No.
to chat with one of our representatives in
Yes.
order to cancel, and then they
Yes.
will do everything they can to get you to not cancel, or they will tell you you need your original account PIN number, or
Mhm.
I mean, they make it almost impossible to cancel.
They do. They do. And, I mean, it's not just the subscriptions. My one of my daughters realized that she was scrolling and spending. And so January 1st of this year, I will give her props. She deleted all of the shopping apps off of her phone.
That's awesome.
And she has kept them off.
That's
And
good.
they actually saved enough money to make a down payment on a new car
Wow. That's awesome.
because she was disciplined to do that.
Yes.
So there are places that are spending leaks that we think about or we don't think about. We take for granted. I mean, the cup of coffee at the local coffee shop has gotten much more expensive over the
Oh, it's
last couple
crazy.
of
I just buy pre-made cold brew coffee in the
Mhm.
grocery store. You can get some really good
Yep.
ones. And I add ice and a little bit of chocolate milk.
Oh, there you go.
Delicious.
There you go. And, I love pistachio lattes with
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't?
okay. Well, I also discovered that I could buy a bottle of pistachio syrup, which will make me, gosh, probably 15 to 20 lattes, depending on how heavy my syrup pour is. Or at least the coffee with the creamer in it. It doesn't always have to be a latte for me. For what I would spend on probably two that I would get at the coffee shop.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and I am all about supporting local and small businesses. It doesn't
Yes.
mean that I don't go to the coffee shop anymore. It
Right.
does mean that I don't feel compelled to do it every day because I have
Same.
it right there at home.
I used to go every Monday through Friday. I'd go at least every other day, if not every day, and it was outrageous. So, I started just buying cold brew coffee in
Mhm.
the store and using that. And so,
Yes.
yeah.
And so, this isn't about depriving yourself of the things
No,
that bring you joy, but it is about being a little bit smarter about it so that you've got the extra cash flow to invest or save for your future or build that rainy day fund or to save for a down payment on a car or to reduce your debt.
yeah.
It's Michael Hyatt has a phrase that he has used for many years, and it's that which gets inspected gets done.
Ah, accountability,
Yes.
right?
So
Yeah.
as we are
Auditing.
and we are in this season where we already have everything pulled up. We're nearing the deadline for filing your tax returns. While you're in there and taking a look at where the money's going and taking a look at your bank statements and at your credit card statements, it doesn't hurt, because there are still, I talk to plenty of people. I see a lot of people from all different walks of life that come through our doors with our practice. And I have people that come in that have lived a very frugal and thrifty life that now have so big of a nest egg that we're going to have a tax problem
Mm,
for them because they've saved it all pre-tax. And I have other people that come through my doors and they say, look, we have no debt. We make a really good income. We haven't been the best at saving it. So we need to figure out how we can achieve our goals on this shorter runway. And when they've got a significant income, there's usually a way to make it happen.
sure.
But when when you are looking at where your money's going, I don't know about you, but it is 25% more for me to fill up my gas tank right now.
Yep. Same. At least.
And
Oh, it's at least that here. It's increased by at least 25% here. Yeah.
right, because I used to be able to fill my tank for 38 to $40,
Mhm.
and today it was a little over 50.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. And that's really rough. Energy prices are starting to go up, oil,
Right,
especially,
which will
has been going
affect
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
will, which is going to have a cascading effect. It's going to affect our utilities. It's going
yep.
to affect our food costs.
Goods. Yeah,
Um,
transportation runs on most of our transportation still runs on fuel. Jet fuel for airlines, to transport goods
yes.
overseas, ships, trains, boats,
Well,
cars,
and
trucks, everything.
even the alternative power sources are tangentially attached to
Of
fossil
course,
fuels,
everything
you know.
is. I mean, plastic is a petroleum-based product, so
Right.
everything. If the prices stay high too long, it eventually causes, um, it causes inflation to
It
rise.
causes
So
inflation,
that's
and
trouble.
one of the things that the Fed is paying attention to is how significant this inflationary jump is, and even though they had already been talking about a minimal number of interest rate cuts this year, they are now talking about the potential of taking rates up to try to keep inflation in check, which means that the cost to borrow money is going to go up. We have seen an increase in mortgage rates over the last 6 weeks. Mortgage rates, what do mortgage rates have to do with the Gulf issues? Nothing when you look at it at first blush, but the
Right.
cost of borrowing money is getting expensive.
It is. That's what it's all about, and, yeah, I mean, it affects everything. Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know,
I
we're seeing the job market tighten up.
Yep.
Oracle in Kansas City just announced that they are reducing their workforce here by 500 people.
Oh, yeah, even
And
in Minnesota usually has some of the lowest unemployment numbers in the
mhm,
country. We're usually top 3 as far as top 3 lowest. So,
mhm,
unemployment in Minnesota has been almost non-existent because we have a lot of big companies, we have a lot of jobs here. There's always something. For the first time in a long time, it's down, and
right.
it's down more than expected, so
Yeah, and so as much as I am usually on this podcast advocating for people being on the offensive with saving for retirement and putting that money away and building that nest egg, today I want you to settle back and take a little bit of a defensive position and take a good hard honest look at where your money's going. Make sure you've got that emergency fund filled
yeah.
because those things happen, and we are seeing industries reduce their workforce for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be caught unaware and without a cushion to fall back on.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not it's not like we're trying to paint it all doom and gloom. I mean,
No.
there are things you can do to help your finances. And I just want to go back to the beginning really quick and tell people I really think this is important. For my wife and I, this is huge, and maybe it's because, and it shows a problem I have, but you lose track. Like you mentioned that $18 a year charge that you lost
Mhm.
track of. We've had so many of those with 5 people in our family. My wife and I,
Right.
we had 3 kids, and now our kids are all out of the house, and they, our last one just graduated from college. But there, a lot of them are still, a lot of these subscriptions
Mhm.
we've had. I mean, we had subscription to gaming services, to magazines, to
Right.
newspapers, to streaming services, audio streaming services, you name it, we had it. And my wife and I, if we didn't sit down and once a month go through our our checking account statement
Mhm.
and our credit card statement. So we look at both of those because that has everything we spend.
Right.
It's either from the checking account or it's from the credit card. And
Mhm.
so we have 2 statements. We go through them and we're like, what's this charge? And if we don't know, we investigate and find out. And if
Right.
we see a charge like, hey, are we still using that? Is anyone using that? And no. Or,
Mhm.
oh, Allie's the only one using that. Allie, we're canceling our subscription. Get your own. Click.
Yes.
You know what I mean? At some
Mhm.
point, you take care of these things, and that's how you plug the leaks. But people are like, oh, I don't want to sit down. I don't want to do a budget. But you know what? It's just going over what you spent. And
Right.
once you do it, doing it like if we put it off, like, oh, do we have? Let's do it tomorrow night. We'll look at our statement. no, nobody likes to do it. You want to put it off, but once we do it, we're like, why didn't we do this sooner? Because now we feel we can sleep well at night. We know we've got things taken care of. We know we have extra money because we find $200 a month here, $200 a month there. Sometimes we'll go through it and we save $400 a month moving forward.
It can be a sneaky little thing, like, I have an Amazon Prime subscription.
Right.
But when you're looking at Amazon Prime movies, not all of the movies that they're showing you are on Prime, and it's free with a subscription to XYZ.
Yes. Yeah, you got to be careful.
And so it's super easy to end up with multiple subscriptions to the same service and not even realize that you've done it.
Yep, we had 3 HBO Max subscriptions at one point.
That's what I mean.
Well, we got one free through our phone company, and then we paid for one, and I thought I canceled it, but again, the cancel didn't go through. It didn't happen like I thought. It's tricky. So you gotta put a little time into it, but man, if you can, the money you'll save, it adds up.
Yeah. And, that moving forward, either going into an emergency reserve if you don't have one, or better yet, putting that $200 to $400 a month away for your future, not necessarily in something that's tax deferred. It might make sense to go into an IRA, but it might also make sense to keep that in an after-tax account so that when you have those bigger expenses or something that comes up where you need a bigger pile of cash than what you would normally have in your emergency fund.
Right.
If you've got it in your brokerage account, borrow it from your brokerage account and then pay the brokerage account back instead of paying the bank.
Right. There you go. That's a great strategy. And you need to have a spending plan in place, and you need to have an overall financial plan in place.
Yes.
So if our listeners out there don't have a solid retirement plan, whether they're 10 years out, 5 years out, or in retirement, or if they don't have an investment plan or a financial overall plan, planning is the key here. And creating a spending plan. How can they get a hold of you with questions?
They can always reach out to us on our website, bgwealthmanagement.com, and there is a button at the top that says schedule a consultation. Those consultations are complimentary and at no charge to you and no obligation. Or if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, give us a call at 913-553-6222.
All right. Well, Barb, great show today. And of course, the whole show, I'm looking at the background, the original artwork behind you. And our background to our video that we do on YouTube. So for our listeners, go to YouTube. And I'm thinking how Easter it is. And
it is very Easter appropriate, isn't it?
It was Easter last week, and it's like, oh, that reminds me of Easter. So I just thought I'd bring that up. But it's not all about the bunny,
It's not all about the bunny.
All right. Well, hey, great show today. Again, if you want to set up a consultation, you can just go to bgwealthmanagement.com. Barb, great show. Listeners and viewers, thanks for tuning in. That does it for today's episode of Anchor Your Retirement with our host, Barb Gullen.
We'll see